Hi, I'm right on time. It's 1 o'clock in Central Time Zone. It's 2 o'clock in the East, uh, noon in Colorado in the mountains, and 11 o'clock on the West Coast. And there's magnificent four of you, four people who've torn themselves away from Danny and Terry. I didn't realize they were running a show today at this time. Not this time. Hi, Three Shifting Veils. Still looking for your question. Let's see what we got. Okay, we're going to start off with Mimi Nee. Are you doing personal readings? Yes, I'm doing personal readings. I would love to see what's about the new moon's going to bring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the garden. I'm going to need practice for this. Okay. And I'm going to kill the question because it's blocking people from being able to see the garden. Okay. Thank you, Mimi, for your question. Yes, it is a new moon today. And that was sort of the irony of the graphic I put up because it showed a moon and it said the moon's in the sky today, tonight, just like it was yesterday. Well, actually, the last 2 days you haven't been able to see it because it was a new moon. But let's look at what's going to happen for the collective in the new moon. Ooh. Well, when I first built the garden and I had a group of people that was learning to work with it with me, Vivian said, if a stone falls in the heart, that's where you have to start because the garden always starts in the heart. And we have spirit in the heart, which is great. Our hearts are becoming alive. Our spirit's becoming alive. It's a little tempered by being a little tiny bit of spirit being false, but that just reminds us that you should only work with situations that are aligned with your spirit. When your spirit falls in false, it says you need to do things that are aligned with your spirit, not the other way around. Now, what we've got is we've got our mind falling between restate and the ancestor. And in restate, the mind means uh, think about how you're looking at things. Really, really, that's what the restate's telling us. Really, really think about how you're thinking of things. But when the mind is in fire, it says don't become tied to false energy of the past. And I think there's a lot of things happening around us that are like we've been lied to before. They're da 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 da. You know, you have to look and evaluate the situation today, where you are right now. That's what the new moons. It's new time, new telling. I have a friend who decided to do the whole new moon, burn your old thoughts, cleanse them out, get rid of them. And once he started writing out the things he wanted to burn and get rid of, he said, I'm surprised I didn't have a forest fire in my house. But he ended up burning about 4 or 5 rolls of little scrolls of things he had thought about. He had a death of a close family member, and it brought up a lot of stuff. So this is such new moon energy. This is such new moon energy. And then our grounding is in fire right here. And it says, yeah, this is a time to deal with our past issues. This is a time for us to look at them and say, and our heart's telling us to deal with our what's going on around us now and to look at it clearly. And our body is in water. And when the body shows up like this in water, it says it helps with images and parts of our lives that are leaving. So all these 4 stones have already spoken, all in sync with each other, what divine timing we're living in. And then we've got our clarity in the present, and that's going to be kind of fun. And because clarity in the present says there's a variety of paths ahead of us, and they'll all become clear as we need to see what the answer is. But what it's saying is don't look backwards, because that's where we're going to find the false answer. We're going to find the real answers to our lives in this new moon if we move forward instead of worrying about what's happened in the past. And we got a whole lot of people trying to, play tricks and games with us, and we don't need that right now. We just need to deal with what we need to deal with that's directly in front of us. So that's that answer. That was simple. And then for those of you who didn't know, it was Mimi's question about what's going on with the new moon right now. Yes, I am doing personal readings. I'm looking for them. Hi, everybody saying hi. Glad to see everybody here. I'm going to go down and, okay, we got some questions. Okay, everybody. Let's see. I'm going to hide your question and get rid of it. Start anymore. Okay, these are questions that got posted to my YouTube channel. So I've had a little time to think about them and figure out the best way to read for them. And will the rest of the year be feeling energetically better than the first 6 months? And I think that's going to be true. And I'm going to say, is the next 6 months moving towards improvement? And Catherine T is asking for everyone, I do believe. And I woke up bright and early this morning, something I rarely do. But I had this show to get ready for. And I'm doing a show tomorrow, and it'll be on an hour earlier. I'm doing it with Nath from Third Wish, Dr. Gale, and Jeffrey, if his Wi-Fi gets reset up. Apparently they were repairing something on the street he lives on in Mexico, and they cut off his Wi-Fi. So Jeffrey's, but I'll be here. Dr. Gale will be here. Nath will be here. And the idea of the show is all of us have created a divination tool. Some like other people's divination tools. In the case of Jeffrey, it was the Shadow Work Tarot book. In the case of Nath, it was this absolutely wonderful, marvelous tarot deck called the Mystical Tarot. And we're going to talk about what it's like when, and Dr. Gale wrote her books about being out with the ETs. So you're going to see an author, someone, Jeffrey, who's created his book that's useful to you, and Nath, who's taken something he knows intimately well from studying it for so long in the tarot. And also Nath works with a lot of different things. He works with a lot of different mediums, scrying and pendulums and a lot of other stuff. We're going to talk about creating in those environments. And when you get moved to create something, what's it like and how do you channel it and what do you do? Okay, so now we're going to the question. Are we going to feel energetically better than we have in the first 6 months? Okay. Okay. 6 months. Yes, because there's so many changes they're going to be coming towards us. And in the last 6 months, we felt stuck in the mud. We couldn't get any of our goals to go forward. And we didn't feel like we were even finding the right people to work with. But what's going to happen for us is we're going to be given the opportunity to take control of our own power. These are there's 3 major arcana and then a major court card coming up. So this is us taking control of our own power. And then some new person, and some people say Cups is the Democratic Party. I don't know if it is or not, but I know this is not Trump. But there's going to be some individuals coming to light that are going to try to help make things so much better or begin to turn the boat in the right direction. Because our boat's been in this direction, kids. It's been sailing backwards and upside down and everything else. So we're going to get out of that. So yeah, I think that's a yes, that there will be. Not going to be sudden. It's not going to be immediate. It's not going to be like everybody recognizes it all at the same time, because it's going to depend on kind of where you are. Okay. Will a cyclospora outbreak end soon due to the cause having been determined? Okay. Okay, and for those who don't know it, that's something that's popping up in the food supply, and it's like it has not exactly, but sort of E. coli kind of problems. But the thing is, this stuff, you can't wash it off your food. If it's in the food supply, it's in the food supply. And if you want to know more about what foods it's in, I didn't even recognize it because I went through and looked at a lot of the foods it's in, and it's not stuff I run out and buy. I eat pretty limited kind of foods just because I'm boring and I don't want to learn new recipes. So. Let's see, let's go away. Oh, this is great. I got it. Yes, because yes, they tackled the hard problem. They figured out what it is. Defining it in the food supply and identifying and isolating it's going to happen really quickly. It's going to make everybody feel better at home, safer at home, and safer in going out to eat too if you want to go out to eat. And it's one of those deals that's going to separate people. Are going to say, "Oh, well, it wasn't that bad." This was a very difficult disease to treat if you got it. It's killed people in New York. I think it's killed quite a few up in the New York area. And then the reason it's going to happen is because if they don't do it, people aren't going to spend their money. I mean, I don't know if they found out that freezing certain products stops it, but it's going to be a matter of expense. But yes, it's going to end soon because they have found what the cause was. Yes, I'm doing personal readings. Are the elemental the ones mainly communicating with me using my light up cat toy? Okay. Okay. Reshifting veils. It's yes and no. You have a couple of different energies that are going on. Mainly, there's one woman or one female prominently. What you feel is a feminine energy around it. And that's the one you communicate with the most. But that's not the only ones. You have 3 no's that say no. You have 3 yeses that say yes. This is an elemental who's communicating with you. But you do have other spirits and other entities who are communicating with you, and they mean you no harm. We got the 3 of Swords upside down, so they mean you no harm. And you're having a harder time hearing them than the elementals. And the one you're having the hardest time with is a very masculine energy that's in the mix. And you're having a hard time dealing with him. So talk to him. Ask the elementals that you're communicating with effectively, who are the others? And how can you communicate with them more effectively? Okay. And will my granddaughter and I have a safe and great vacation in Europe? We're leaving on Sunday for 2 weeks. I'm hoping that I'm hoping, anyway, she wants her energy to stay up. Will it be a busy trip? Okay. I know about this trip. Sue Imsey and I've talked about this personally when I did her 6-month reading, and it ends up, she had great cards during this vacation time. So it's going to be good. That's when I saw. So let's see. Let's see how vacation's going to go with your granddaughter. Yeah, you guys are going to have a great time. Your strength is easily going to hold up to everything you're asked to do. There's no obstacles going to get in your way that's sort of speed bump you and stop you from doing it. One thing it says to be careful about is your judgment about some of the activities you might do. Maybe you need to let the youngin go do a youngin thing while you watch from the side. But at the end, you have great card, the Empress. You are going to feel so at home, so coordinated, help this child so much, get used to so much of this. And you're going to come back, the Queen of Wands, just ready to start moving on some other things when you come back. But you're going to find a whole new strength and energy. You're going to feel a whole new side of yourself while you're on the trip. And so will she. So that's good. Oh, okay. Got one here that's about a new job. Okay. How will my transition go for my new job? Thanks. For the love of the moon. Well, that's a good day and a new moon. Okay, let's see. For love of the moon's new job. Hi, Annie Bear. Hi, Flower Beauty Peacock Rainbow. If I don't say your name, it doesn't mean I don't see you, and it doesn't mean I don't love you. It just means I'm the only one working this show today, so I don't have a whole lot of breathing space. I don't know if you saw the show on Sunday, but Scott had to go play softball because Scott had to go play softball. So Sheila came on with me, and it was a good show, except she had an echo, and my system went down for a little while. I had an IP problem for a little while. So I had 10 minutes of Sheila vamping. Okay. I don't think you wanted to make the transition. I don't think you wanted to shift jobs. And that's kind of put a damper on your feelings about it. But you're going in with all the knowledge and information you need, and you're leaving a bad situation behind you. But don't go in thinking you know how to do everything. Pay attention to what's going on around you, because some things have been started there that you're going to be working with that are going to be less than easy. But this is a great card, even though it's reversed. What this card means is when he's right side up, he's got all the sticks and he knows it ought to make something and he's not sure how to put it together. When it's reversed, it means you're going to be putting all the puzzle pieces together. But just go in remembering that let go of the old job, let go of all the crap all the diminishments, all of the mental anguish that your last job put you through. There are people there that were not nice, and go in who you are, because you are so strong, and you're going to find out that it's going to be good for you. But there's going to be something that happens right at the first that's going to kind of shake your confidence just a little bit. Like, should I really still be here? But yes, you should. You should. It's a great place for you. Okay. Can I have a work financial reading for the next few months, please? Okay. See if things are going to improve for Flower Beauty Peacock Rainbow in the next 3 months. Okay. I know where you work, you've been shifting things around quite a bit, girl. But you're going to be, I keep seeing things look fine for you. So. Okay, there's some negative things right now going on around you that are not letting you use your own power. You also have the 7 of coins. You've planted crops and they haven't borne the fruit you wanted, but you're going into a new place, a new path where you're the one who's going to be making the decisions. You're going to feel very, very safe there. and they're going to be a place where you can express your opinions and let things flow. The Four of Cups, when he's sitting there, he's like, I don't want that one. I don't want that one. I don't want that one. When it's reversed, it means, yes, you're moving forward. New ideas are going to be coming out. So I think it's going to be better for you than the last few months have been. So I hope that helps. I'm struggling with restlessness and a heaviness in my chest, not a heart attack. What is blocking me from peace? Okay. I'm going to pull an oracle card on this one because let's see if I've got it. Okay, we're going to use angels and auras. I really like this deck because I think it's very positive, but it has hard lessons in it. It tells you what you need to know. Yeah, one of the things I'm going to talk about is my chakra eggs that I was building 3 years ago. I quit making them because I had to make them in batches, and they were more expensive than I could afford to do on my own. But anyway, we're going to talk about that. But let's see if I've got mine here. I'm getting all this stuff out, so. But it had the sign of the heart chakra in it, and you would meditate on it. And one of the people when I was selling them, he got his, and he said when he meditated with it, that it broke him through to another dimension. And needless to say, Amazon's not going to let me sell a product that I said this will take you to another dimension. It's hard to believe Amazon would pick something. Struggling, restlessness, heaviness. What's blocking her peace? You got peace right side up. Are you sure you can accept peace? I can explain this one to you. It's a great card. Okay. When this card appears, it's the core color of spirituality, meaning your connection to all your guardian angels. When this card is upright, it indicates energy centers, sometimes referred to as a chakra, are aligned and may be in flow. That could be it. If they're starting to open up and energy is really starting to flow through you, it's not there. There does mean it does feel a little restless and a little heavy because you want to know what to do with all this energy. But we'll go on. It suggests a healthy spiritual practice. If it's upright, you've been doing your spiritual work, and things will become clearer. And the colors you should work with, Jen, are all of them: purple, dark blue, light blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. Work with all of them. And sometimes when we have so much energy flowing through us, it's better if we kind of go back to black and white, because then we can deal with all of the energy that's merging through our body. Jen, I hope that helps. But I think what you're feeling is you're waking up. And, if you've been not feeling those things, that's hard. Hi, Dr. Gail. I already talked about Dr. Gail's going to be on with me tomorrow. It's going to be so much fun. Here's another person. I've been getting heavy energy waves at night. Any insight into what this is? And it's because you're either been overly concerned about your prosperity, or you're not opening up so you can get the prosperity that's coming to you. Wealth, opportunities, success, and manifestation are happening around you. And if you get heavy energy waves at night, that could be what it is. And let me read you a little bit about this card. It's a lovely deck, but they made the numbers on reading them as small as they could. It says, look at this pretty image of all that happening around you. Your wealth is expanding in all forms. Now is the time to reap the harvest of your good deeds and hard work. A financial reward will rain down on you soon. Fill your heart with gratitude and remember just how worthy you are for all joyful things. Keep the momentum going by remembering to share your good fortune with others and who may be struggling. The good you do comes back to you. So, yay! I really think what's happening is a lot of people are waking up and they're feeling this is weird. It's like your soul energy is moving. What I did, I used tapping. This was even before COVID. I was using tapping. I found a good one on Daily Om. And it was about weight loss, but it was really just tapping and moving your energy all together. And I remember in my meditations, I came up with the idea, the reason at that point, dears, I weighed a charming 330 pounds, which is approximately about 130 pounds more than I weigh now. And so I was getting pretty desperate. Thank God I found the way, found the right kind of diet. I found the right kind of nutrition. I found the right kind of influencers to teach me how to eat and eat comfortably for myself. And and then during lockdown, when everybody was gaining weight like crazy, I was losing weight because I was only 60 pounds down when COVID hit, and then I've lost the rest of it since then. But I remember one of the meditations I had, and it was so meaningful to me, is I said, I remember saying, like, why did I let this disgusting thing happen to me? Why did it end up being here? And my meditation told me that I had built a wall of fat. I had built a fortress of fat around myself so that only people who wanted to could see past the fat would I let near me. And that in doing so, I had padded my heart so far away from the world that even though I was reading people and doing great readings and working at the wine bar and having a great time at Gretchen's, my true heart energy wasn't out there. And I remember when I came to that revelation and I said, no, I don't want this fat anymore, that helped a lot of it sort of melt away. But it was a hard lesson because it was something I chose to do. And if you'd have tried to tell me, oh, you chose to do that yourself, I would not have been kind in my response to you. Let me put it to you that way. So I think a lot of people are waking up, and when your heart starts to come alive, you have the choice to still say what you want to do. And here's somebody who wants to buy a grid for Dylan, which is fun. She's got a lot of family members. Okay. I received my grid yesterday. It's beautiful. Thank you. Oh, I'm glad I finally got there. God, I don't know. I'm sending things UPS because the U.S. mail is even worse. I sent one through the U.S. mail, and the lady called me up, and I had to tell her what craft store to go through so she could stick a few of the stones back on because they've been so nasty to the package. Okay. Eliza Bassett. Okay. Will my personal balance and body movements and confidence be returned to me soon? Okay. That's a good yes/no question. Aloha all. Yeah, it's been tough on you, though. You got to a point where you just wanted to set all the burdens down. You came to a point where you had to let go of a whole lot of things, and that slowed you up completely to go through that process. It has to do with problems in the people closest to you, some family issues and stuff. But then the future is you get your own power back. And you've needed to do this, and you're going to learn how to invest your power. Part of losing your balance and your confidence has been a lesson for you to learn how to take care of you and not carry all of them before you take care of yourself. Trust me, I know that's easier said than done. Could you possibly tell me how many years I will be legally married to my husband? I'm not good with numbers like that. I'll try to pull a card and see. Well, I got the 11, and what I got, Mimi, for you is to go inside yourself. But you've got the number 11, so I don't know how long you've been married to him. I don't know if you're trying to cut the cord right now, but it's been 11 years. It'll be 11 would be the number I would come up with, but that's kind of an odd. I mean, I'm not good with numbers. Okay, I'm looking for questions, guys. Okay, Roseflower just wants a reading for the summer. That's an easy one. How's Roseflower's summer going to go? Okay. You're involved you're engaged in an argument with someone right now. One who thinks they really know how to run everything, and the other one who does know how to run everything. And I almost get a feeling that this is you. These are the two sides of you, because there's something you've wanted to get. You started this spring and you wanted to get done. It's not going to get done this summer for you, but you need to do it because it's a really strong within your spirit to get this done. But for you to find the time to get it all done, you'd have to go through making major changes. And that's the argument you're having in yourself. Do I want to charge ahead and do what I want to do, or I'm going to be the one who always takes care of everything and cleans up and makes sure it happens? And you're being very resentful right now about having to do that for people, having to care for them, Roseflower. So it's a yes and a no, and it all depends on who wins, the Queen of Swords or the Queen of Wands. Right now, the Queen of Wands is kind of in charge, but your outcome said the Queen of Swords. So that will know what you're going to get, if you're going to get done what you want to get done. But you had a project you've really wanted to work on, and you're a little frustrated with yourself. And there may just be a matter of timing. Say, Cindy, I've been fighting for financial government benefits for over 2 years. Will it be successful? Okay. Let's see if it's going to be successful by 2027. No, go away. I didn't think I know who it is. I think it's Jeffrey. It is Jeffrey. Hi, do you have Wi-Fi?
Sort of. I'm doing a mobile hotspot because I'm still waiting for these schmucks.
Okay. So well, you're on live, so don't say anything too bad. So Jeffrey will be there with us tomorrow too. Hello. We're doing a show. Jeffrey's on the show now.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I didn't have to answer the phone.
All right. Well, I figured I would call you when we would test the StreamYard. after you're done with your video.
Okay, that'll be in about 30 minutes.
Okay, love all of you.
Bye-bye, Jeffrey. They rebuilt the infrastructure around Jeffrey's apartment, and they took down his Wi-Fi. So now we're going to start. I'm going to reshuffle for Say Cindy. And will you get your things by 2027? No, but what I got is you have the strength to get through this. Someone is working on your case and getting the paperwork together, but it's more the system you're in. They're not giving out anything to anybody right now. And because we don't have the right people in charge that want to make sure things get done. And quite honestly, they don't care if you starve on the streets, Say Cindy. But let's see if when the Dems take over, will they be able to motivate these departments to start doing their jobs? Let's see if you're going to get your stuff in 2027. Your money shows up with the sun. You're going to still be fighting some of the same bad actors that don't want to do what the department says. But this is money, right side up or upside down. That's money coming in. So you have the Ace card for money, and you have the Sun card for enlightenment. And yeah, you're going to get it, but it's going to be 2027. It's going to be after the Democrats take over and they start to really go in and cleaning house. Not cleaning house so much as getting the people back that should be doing the jobs. Come on. Let's see if I can get another question up here. It's a good statement. My daughter reminded her eldest child to live in gratitude instead of negativity. She's a confirmed agnostic who doesn't believe in spiritual belief. Color me amazed. Agnostic, people just want to put a label on something, and I think a lot of people who are use those terms don't know what they're talking about. I just saw a debate about people who said they were atheists and then they were agnostics, and then what the hell were they? Because almost if you say you're an atheist, it's almost as if you admit there's something you have to be against that's up there. So that's kind of useless. And agnostics are just people who aren't sure, because Gnostis means to know. And if you are an heavy intuitive, you know, and there's no way to run away from that. But anyway. Okay. Okay, let's see. Oh, somebody's having, okay. I've been having repeated variation of dreams about not being able to go home, being stuck there. Any insights? Okay. Yeah, I've been having equal amounts of REM sleep and light sleep for the last 4 or 5 days, which means I've been having a lot of dreams. Some I remember, some I don't. Last night's dream was a woman who was like my mother, always trying to put me in the frilly sweaters with beading on it and, stuff my mom really liked, and I didn't. My mom put a Jackie Kennedy hat on this round little face as a child. Can you imagine? how dumb that pillbox hat looked on my head. But anyway, and so I finally just looked at the woman. I said, look, I went through this with my mother. I don't need to do this anymore. And I woke up right from the dream. So see if we can see why. Mike? Yeah, Mike. I'm going to say Meek. Meek. Oh. Okay. Meek. Why is Meek stuck? Okay. You're stuck because you were given certain expectations about monetary things you should make too. You've always told the wheel of fortune always flows in your way. And sometimes when it doesn't, then it just doesn't. And this is a card of home. And the message you're fighting right now about being stuck is coming from your father. And what you have to do is have a long, hard talk with yourself. And it's a new moon, like I said, write down, I just want to let this stuff go. Don't make judgments about it. Don't say it's good, it's bad, it's different. Just the false thoughts from your father. If you don't let them go, you're never going to be able to see who you really are. You won't be able to see yourself in a balanced way. If you can let them go, then you'll be able to see yourself in a balanced way. And that's what your dreams have been about. And you can't go home again. I mean, I don't know how old you are, kid, but eventually you are the home you're in. So, I hate to tell you. This is a lady who had balance problems. It's been 18 months of weirdness. I know the feeling. I woke up at 3:30 last night. Anybody else hoping that there would be more good news? Yeah, there's always good news if you look for it. You just have to look for it. There's actually, you can go on Google and Google looking for good news. And there's a guy who sends out a good news newsletter with good news from all over the world. And it perks my day up, let me tell you. Prime 3, can I have general reading? Were you a math major, Prime 3? What's going on around Prime 3? I don't think I've seen your name before. Okay. What's going around Prime 3 in general? In general. Oh, girl, quit being down on yourself, or guy, whichever one you are. You've been making decisions. You hung around and looked for a long time, and you made a decision. You decided you wanted to move, and then you did move. Not a good way, but it's okay. You're still solving the problems. Remember, that's the solving the problems card. It has something to do with relationships. And you need to be more definitive about the people you let into your circle right now. That's what's happening around you. I'm going to pull an oracle card because when I was laying your cards out, Addie said, get ready to pull an oracle card. Okay. For those of you who don't know, Addie is not one of my children. Addie is my guide. And she tells me things. She's how I know so much stuff. She knows more stuff than I know. What is the oracle card we want to bring? Oh, this is who you're fighting with. Spiritual relationships. Isn't that a pretty card? Your third eye's opening. That's what's happening. And it opens and then you go, oh, I don't want to see that. This is intuition, connection, signs, and inspiration is what you're working on. You need to find new ways. Some of the people that you've pulled in around you are not people who are receptive to that. And that's going to help you. What your spirit relationship, when this card appears, you are right side up in all forms of spirit communication present at this time. This may include connections with angels, mediumship, channeling, spirit guides, simply powerful connection with your own inner divine self. You're being encouraged to pay close attention to the signs from the other side. You may also be being called upon to do study and coursework to improve your intuition and your powers. There is most likely an excitement to deepen your own connection to the spirit world, and it's opportune. And if you don't follow it, if you go this way with this card, in its introverted form, it means you're trying too hard to make connections that are meant to be made naturally for you. You're pushing it. That may be causing you fear, like I can't do this. I can't do this as well as they can do this. That's all silliness. In times of sorrow, there may be times you're feeling desperate. And the color you should pull around yourself. Oh, this is a don't force yourself sign. This means let the stuff happen, Prime Tree. And the color green is amplifying all forms of communication, strengthening signs, and you'll also have a purple surge of energy as you connect more to your higher powers. That's what I was getting is you've never been in an environment that particularly, maybe I'm full of BS, who knows? You haven't been in a place that really helped you, guide you through this. And this is another Nancy Jean mini commercial, but I'm going to be doing a book club on a set of books called The Accidental Medium. And it's about a woman who is exactly where what I see for you, Prime 3, was happening. And she all of a sudden found out she was a medium. And trust me, every time she went through one of her awakenings, she was like, oh my God, I don't want to do this. And anyway, you're going to come through it fine because you're asking the right questions. But if you want to look at coming and being part of that book club, the best thing about that book, and the reason I picked it, was I read so many people who've gone through, and I could feel it. When I was reading this book, I went, this really happened to this woman, because I've been through this, and I answer that same question for so many people. And, but I just don't know what to do with it. And, all of a sudden one day you realize, but I am a witch, and there's been witches in my families for generations. And sometimes it won't be that dramatic. Sometimes it'll just be that you'll be seeing more spirit more clearly, or your divine self more clearly. My son's going through a tower time at the moment. And currently he's struggling mightily. Will he come through? Okay, let's see. Okay. Boy, is he struggling. Part of it is he doesn't want to get through it. He just thinks he's stuck in that place. And to get through it means looking inside himself. But he does have people around him to help support him. And he is able to get past this emotional bankruptcy. But he is so tied to earthly things and earthly powers, that's what's making it hard for him, Sue Whimsy. And his end card was he's too emotional. And he's using his emotions as an excuse. So will he come through it? He's the one who has to do it. It shows right now he's choosing to not do everything he can to help himself. Sue Whimsy, is your screen on? It's buymeacupofcoffee.com Crystal DRI3. That's how you can buy me a cup of coffee. Or you can just go to Buy Me a Cup of Coffee, put in Nancy Jean's Garden, and they will take you to the right place. And that's the best way to give money to me, because they take the least. And I already paid. YouTube takes more than it should. I've been feeling an overwhelming urge to reinvent myself. Okay, you're like the fifth one, Silverwoods, today. Any thoughts on the path? Thank you. Okay. Okay. Reinvent. Can Silverwoods do to reinvent herself? I've often said if you even if you don't get your question in the chat, if you listen to the questions that are in the chat, you're going to find out overwhelmingly they reach out to you. And all of you are proving it because you're all asking like basically the same questions. Yes, you are so capable. God, are you capable of reinventing yourself? Okay. Your problem is you've been in the wrong boat with the wrong people, girl. But are you going to reinvent yourself? Yes. This is you, Nine of Pentacles, in the garden, enjoying your life, taking care of yourself. You've got the sun. The sun always means yes. Upside down or right side up, it means yes. And this time it's right side up. You are learning to speak with your own voice, and you got a voice, girl. But the one thing you've had to watch out for is not cutting people up with your tongue, being very careful with that. I don't think you need to worry about that so much anymore because you're going to be bringing in a lot of like-minded people that you can openly share yourself with. Your problem has been the folks you've been hanging with. So you need to find yes, you can read, and your path is to find new people and people who will accept you for who you are. Boy, you're a dynamic person from that reading. Do your guides see me getting a writing job this month? You know, BG, you can call on your own guides and ask them, but I'll ask Addie. Addie, is she going to get a job, writing job this month? Okay. Yeah, you're already at the yes. You got 5 yeses, girl. And it's a job you looked at last fall, and it's going to come through this summer. You were introduced to the job by a light-haired or red-headed woman who's an entrepreneur, or even if it's a guy, he has very not assertive male energy. Best way I can put it. Because he shows up as a queen. And this has really been weighing on your mind. Why can't you get to there? But it's because you've been getting out of a definitely difficult mental state. But yeah, that's 5 yeses. Every single card was right side up, every single one of them. So yeah, you got it coming. And think about a woman that you had that conversation with last fall. That job's going to be available now this summer. Okay. Oh, that's true. The coffee URL is crawling across the bottom. Yeah, I can do that. I can read from this is my favorite ones. This is the one. If you give me money, if you choose to support my channel through Buy Me a Cup of Coffee, I get 2 ways I can reply. I can put a nice little thank you note on it, or I can record a 30-second message. And so what I do for everybody is I pull a card from this deck, and it's called Gentle Wisdom of the Fairies. And it's a beautiful deck, and I read you an oracle card that I pulled just for you, but this is for the collective, and it's called Guardian. Yes, Guardian. And as much as I would like to tell you I've got all these cards memorized, I have like 100 decks, so not really. Okay, but she's pretty. She's sitting up in the moon. We are watched over and supported constantly. We are surrounded by vast networks of fairies, divas, nature spirits, and angels who love supports us unconditionally, and it's pure. The incredible depth to which we are loved, we cannot even fathom. That's kind of for all of, and that's really what we all need to hold on to these days. And so, we need to support each other, and we need to get in groups that support each other. Somebody who likes me. I'm hilarious. Well, I'm relatable. And I laugh a lot around you. Well, thank you, because that makes me feel good. And this is true. You learn a lot. I love watching other readers. Sometimes they'll interpret a card in a way I never even thought of before, and it works. Let's see what we got. We got more questions. Well, thank you, everyone, for showing up. And I got to get off so I can go get with Jeffrey, and we can see if his thing works. Do come to the show tomorrow. I've really put a lot of effort into this. I have Dr. Gail, if you're still in the chat, bring all your books. I know I've got one of your books here. Yeah, I can see it where it's sitting over there. But I've got Jeffrey's book. I'll have a sample of Nate's book. I just think it's real interesting to see what we go through. I think people think we just sit around and scribble these things out and there's no pain. I have, since I met Dr. Gail, she was writing on her first book. She now has 3, and they're all interesting and they're fascinating. And she brings in the ET element. I saw a cartoon today, and it was the sort of proof of life picture they put of Mitch McConnell. But in this proof of life picture, they had Lincoln and Kennedy behind him. They had Elvis was sitting to one side, and there was an alien, the little green man kind of Roswell alien next to the bed. And I sent the picture on to Dr. Gail, and I said, can your people come and stop this? I mean, this is just silly. But all of the rest of you, this was not silly. I really enjoyed this. This made my day, everyone being here. And like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you want to be part of the book club is going to be a membership thing. And, I found the books several ways you can get them. They come as audiobooks. If you get them as audiobooks, they're like $6 something each. I got real hardcover books because I have to really make notes because I got to be the teacher again. And I was a teacher at one point. I taught school. I taught media, though. I taught making movies. I didn't teach books. And so it's going to be kind of fun because I haven't done this. I've done similar things before, but I think you're all going to find the books. And the second set of books are called the Myrtlewood Crone series. And it's also about a bunch of women who are walking into their power. And trust me, their power ain't letting them go. They're having to dive into volcanoes to go get dragon eggs. Trust me, they're not letting them go. They're having to use their energy. But I think it's really good for us because we can see the sea of energy that we are in right now. And I don't know where else. It's the energy of the universe. So you're here or you're there. Whatever a guy can say. Y'all have a good day. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye.